Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
If you use Amazon.com to buy anything online, please first go to our website, davidpakman.com, and click on the black banner, which takes you to Amazon. Then any shopping you do will send us a 7% commission, and it won't cost you anything extra. You can also become a David Pakman Show member, made possible in part by liberalbias.com. Cutting-edge research, Lewis, shows that Obama causes lightning, cats, and suicide. Find more unbiased research at liberalbias.com. Today's new member of the day, always like to say hi to someone, Daniel Vesterdahl Henriksen. It is great to have Daniel as a David Pakman Show member, and we welcome him along with everybody else who has joined over the last couple of weeks, including the last few days. Those membership specials, the birthday membership specials, flying off the shelves, Lewis.
Selling like hotcakes, huh?
Like hotcakes.
Nice.
What are hotcakes anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
assume
sure
they're
though.
edible.
Yeah, but they must. I guess they must be popular.
I think so.
DavidPakman.com/29. Spell out the words. No hyphen. All right. We need to remind ourselves when we talk about these gun show loopholes in the context of gun control about something that Al-Qaeda said back in June of 2011, about a year and a half ago. Al-Qaeda has actually been open. This maybe flew a little bit under the radar back then because we weren't in the midst of a frenzy over gun control discussions. But it has actually been very open, Al-Qaeda has, about the fact that guns are very easy to obtain for terrorists in the U.S. by using the gun show loophole. This was, remember Adam Gadon, who was this American-born Al-Qaeda fighter, and he would sometimes put out videos. He said, America is absolutely awash with easily obtainable firearms. You can go down to a gun show at a local convention center and come away with a fully automatic assault rifle without a background check and most likely without even having to show an identification card. So what are you waiting for? We don't often say this about Al-Qaeda types, but he is right on the facts. The fact that we have this gun show loophole and that we have very limited use of background checks and that the background check that failing a background check is not an enforced crime, which anybody really is, and people are rarely prosecuted for that. That's a huge problem. Al-Qaeda is aware of it, and they are using that to obtain guns. What more evidence do we need that we have a problem here?
Yeah, I think obviously that needs to end, that loophole. And you know what? If there's one thing they're good at, it's obtaining weapons. They seem to excel at that.
Yeah, and it seems like it's absolutely, it doesn't even take that much effort when you can just go to a gun show. Now, we have to assume that because what I'm thinking, Natan, is someone fitting the stereotype of what people think Muslims look like goes to a gun show and tries to buy a gun. It's possible that from sheer xenophobia or racism, they may not actually be sold one, but we certainly can't rely on xenophobia to prevent people from getting guns.
Yeah, but you know what? A nice fat stack of cash might get rid of that. Someone might be able to put their xenophobia aside.
What do you think about that, Natan?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I think this whole gun show thing, I mean, it is important to remember that this 40% number that people keep on mentioning, that 40% of gun purchases are at, gun shows that don't provide background checks or don't require them. I guess that's based on a study that, it may not be accurate. It may be way lower. At the same time, if there's even one, gun being sold that isn't requiring a background check, that's one too many. So the reality is we need to get rid of this.
Let's even assume that those numbers have been multiplied by 2 or even by 4.
Or how about 10?
And that it's 10%, right? Even if one of every 10 guns is purchased without a background check at a gun show, that's still
unacceptable.
It's like 30 million. Aren't there 300 million guns around? That's still 30 million guns potentially.
Right.
I think there's more. Aren't there more guns than people?
I'm not sure about that.
Wayne LaPierre has this talking point that he's doing now, which is to say that, legitimate gun providers, gun manufacturers that show up at the gun shows, they do run the background check. So we don't want to infringe on, small businesses and families and all this. That's the dumbest argument. That's exactly the people that you need to be running background checks.
Absolutely. No question about it. But we haven't really heard much coherent thought or logic from Wayne LaPierre, at least for the last few years.
You mean before that he was speaking logically?
There is video of him saying everybody should be background checked, in direct contrast to what he's saying now. That's from, I don't remember if it's 2007 or before, but the video's been circulating.
It's like 99, I think.
The
99.
CEOs and the execs of the gun companies said no.
Got to him, yeah.